Okay, doing some BRM TDI Volkswagen talk today. In particular, this is an '06 Volkswagen Jetta TDI with the DSG 6-speed automatic trans in it. We got some cam wear on this car here. Dad's had this car approximately a little more than 3 years. When he got this car, it had 196K on it. Did some stuff to it. Got a real good deal on it. There was nothing majorly wrong with this car. I did hear a little bit of lopiness on one cylinder, but it wasn't anything to worry about. And you know, when you hear that in these cars, unless you're trained with your ear and you're very familiar with these cars, you'll notice you'll have a little bit of sound, and it doesn't sound right. It almost sounds like you're sucking air, or you know, you're running on a dead cylinder. Well, it's not what it is. It's just the cam and the wear. It makes this weird sound. Like I said, if you're not familiar with these, you won't know what it means or what it sounds like. But some of these cars have cam wear and some of them don't. Primarily the reason is, when I see one of these Jettas, a BEW or a BRM, particularly the pump deuce with the fire injectors that use just kind of like a Detroit 60 series in a big heavy diesel, they use the cam to fire pressure the injectors. I'll see one of these cars with 150, 180, 220,000 on it, and the first thing I'll see in the trunk is one of these. Nothing wrong with that oil, but folks, it is not for a Volkswagen TDI. The bottom end of these motors and everything in between, besides the cam, is fine with this oil. But the cam does not like this oil. It's too thick, folks. Leave it to the big cats and the big Cummins to put your Dello in. These cars, they'll run thousands of miles on Dello, but you're using the wrong oil. The oil that you need to use is Ravin oil, liquid moly, and I always put a ZDDP zinc additive in these cars just as an insurance policy. Now, some of these oils don't rhyme good with the zinc additive. The detergent actually will take the zinc out. So, you do a little bit of homework on that. But I always run a zinc additive, and I always run a right oil on this. I always run 530 with a thickness adder, zinc, or I run 540 still with zinc in it. And you shouldn't have any problems. Now, Dad got this car. He ran it for 3 years just fine, but it's getting to the point where you can definitely hear that something's going on. So we pull the top end apart, pull the valve cover off. It's 13 torques. Pull the valve cover off and do a little looking around. The people that had this car, they took pretty good care of it. But like I said, I found diesel oil in the trunk, and I mean Dello by Diesel Oil. So I knew something was up. We got another 3 years out of this motor before it needed the cam. Hard to believe. It had 196 on now, or back then, and it's got almost 218 on it now. So I want to show you something real quick. I don't know if we can see it, but we're going to look in there just below the first lobe. The lobe is up right now, and you can see it. We're looking at the push side of the bottom of the cam. These hydraulic lifters, they have a button underneath. This one's wore through so much that you can actually see the button mechanism coming up. Let me try to get in there. There we go. You see it back there behind the spring? You see that round part that's inside of the round collar? It's not supposed to be like that. That's wore all the way through. That's cylinder number 1. I also noticed some wear on cylinder number 2, I believe. Yep. You can see it. It's really hard to see on this phone, folks, but you'll be able to see it a lot easier by eye. But telltale sign, even before looking there, we'll look at the cam. So let's look at the top of the cam. You see that marring right there? It's not supposed to be like that. And there's a bevel edge on this cam lobe right here, if you can see it. That's not supposed to be like that. Now we'll look at the end over here. You see that one all the way to the end? It's got kind of a jagged edge on the end right there. You can also see right here, you'll see those lines in there. And you'll see the angle, how it's bending. That's excessive wear on this cam. This cam is toast. Now, the new cam kits that they make, we'll show you. They come with what's called nitrate lifters. They're black. Here's a cam kit right over here. This is a simple cam kit. This is off eBay. Folks, this is a $96 cam kit right here. Very inexpensive, but it will do the job for thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. Comes with the cat bolts, cam seal, got your lifters. They are soaked in oil. Got your tandem pump seal, bearing cap, bearings, and then these go into the bearing cap. Make sure when you take them out, they go in directionally. You'll see. I'll go ahead and show you one of these new style. I want you to notice the color on these. Instead of silver, they're black. They're made of a harder material. They changed the material composition years ago so this wouldn't happen anymore. Now, this is a stock OEM cam, not a performance cam. You can choose to get a performance cam if you want to, and you don't necessarily have to tune it and make big horsepower. I'll show you a performance cam here. And they also make these cam lobes with the same material that this is made out of. I'll go ahead and show you this other cam over here. Well, that's a performance cam. It's only got, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it. Pulled it out of a car. Kid didn't set the timing right. Over torqued the actual idle arm and broke the stud off the side of the motor and unfortunately killed that motor. Cam was about the only thing that was good in it. So, get you a cam. Do it the right way. Make sure you do your torque settings. And here's another thing, folks. If you're thinking about getting one of these '06 cars or even an earlier version with the BEW, I'm not trying to sell you on the thing, and you'll talk to a lot of mechanics and they poo-poo these motors. They go, oh, they have excessive cam wear issues. Well, they do, but you need to use the right oil. You need to change it before 10,000 miles. Volkswagen recommends that you change oil in these motors every 10,000 miles. I think that's too much. I think we should be doing it at 6,000, 6,500, maybe even 5. That's what I do. I've daily drive one that's got 300,000 on it, and I've never put a cam on it. I've had that car for almost 80,000 miles. Never needed to put a cam in it. And it didn't have any cam wear when I got it, so whoever took care of it used the right oil and did what they were supposed to. So I'm going to tell you again, if you're looking at getting in one of these cars that's got a bad cam, I think you should do it. I really do. Have a cam put in if you're not mechanically savvy. Maybe have the neighbor help you. It's really not that hard. To take the valve cover off and check for cam wear, you don't even have to take this timing belt cover off. Just pop your valve cover off. Take your exhaust gas, your valve cover pressure thing off. There's a vacuum hose. Slides right on the back of the valve cover. That's all you have to do. Pull your fuel lines out of the way and take a look in there. It's very easy to tell. You don't have to be a certified mechanic to look at that cam and say, yeah, look at that wear down there. There's perfect angle right there. Let's see if I can get a good shine on it. Yeah, it's hard to see, but if you look in there, even if it's your first time looking at one of these, you'll realize that something's not right. There you go. There's a perfect shot right there on that lobe. See that mirroring on there? Looks like there's circles drawn in there. It's not supposed to be like that. So anyway, folks, if you're looking to get into one of these diesel cars, I'm telling you, they don't even make cars these days that can get the mileage that these cars get. This car is getting anywhere from 41, 42 to about 48. I mean, there's tuning you can do and other stuff, but there isn't a modern gas car that can get anywhere close to that. Not a Hyundai, not a Kia, not a Honda. I recommend these diesel cars. Yeah, it's a little old. 06, we're getting up on the 20 year mile marker here, but you know what? If you go and get one of these cars that's a nice chassis and find a motor, a good running motor at the scrap yard, junkyard, whatever, and put it in there for $1,000, you're going to have yourself a good car for a long, long time. Take care of it, and these cars will take care of you. I highly recommend these cars. Use the right oil. Change it when you're supposed to. Don't overheat them. And you'll have a car that will take you all over until you get tired of driving it. If you guys have any comments or questions about a BRM, go ahead and give me a call. Leave a comment. send me an email. Talk to you later.